Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second to clarify something about problem number 7. When I was doing out the answer key, I realized that part E is actually a little more difficult than it leads on. In class, we were talking about that if the average velocity was equal to 4/3, would the average speed just simply be the absolute value? But the problem is it wouldn't, because if you consider the average velocity to be maybe on the interval 0 to 8, maybe it'd be like 2 miles per hour, and I don't know, 4 and 6 and 8, and then like maybe in the last little chunk, it goes at negative 2 miles per hour, which is okay for velocity. If you were to average these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, you'd get a positive answer, because the positive numbers would exceed the negative. But when we're finding the average speed, we need that -2 to actually be positive. So these answers are actually going to differ from one another. So to correctly solve the question, you got to go back to the definition of speed. So the average speed is equal to the total distance divided by the total time. So this is how we're going to calculate the speed. Now, if we're doing the interval from 0 to 8, total time is pretty easy, it's just 8. But the total distance is actually going to be somewhat confusing, because we have to use the function and find the distance from 0 to 8. To find distance, we need turnaround points. We already found those turnaround points earlier in this problem. We found them to be 2 and 6. So if we know the turnaround points are going to be 2 and 6, I need to find the position at 0, the position at 2, and accumulate that distance. Then at 2, it's going to change direction, and it's going to keep on trucking until 6. From 2 to 6, I need to calculate the distance. And then at 6, it's going to change direction, and I need to calculate the distance from 6 to 8. Add up all these numbers, and you're going to get the total distance. So if I use my calculator, or if I kind of think about the function values and do them out algebraically, I'm going to get that S of 0 is 2, S of 2 is 12 and 2/3, S of 6 is equal to 2, and S of 8 is equal to 12 and 2/3. So the distance between 2 and 2 and 2/3 would be 10 and 2/3. The distance back from 12 and 2/3 back to 2 would just be another 10 and 2/3. And the distance from 2 to 2 and 12 and 2/3 is just, again, 10 and 2/3, a lot of thirds. So the total distance is going to equal 10, 20, 30, and then 2, 4, 6/3. It'd be 32. Which means that the average speed from 0 to 8 is 32 over 8, or 4 meters per second. Okay? So we do get an answer that's different from 4/3, which was the average velocity. So just take this into consideration moving forward.